Welcome to the learning portal of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Welcome to the learning portal of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. In today's video class, we'll focus on the new module of an operating system, that is graphical user interface. The topic to be covered in today's class is what is GUI, that is graphical user interface, components of GUI, operations performed on Windows, and components of Windows. So let's start. Graphical user interface. What is graphical user interface? The interface which replaces cryptic commands by the graphical representation are called graphical user interface. Windows operating system is a GUI based operating system. That is, the command is replaced by different icons on the computer, so that we term as graphical user interface. Now, what are the features which are present in graphical user interface? The first feature is replacement of a command by an icon. So, commands are grouped together in various levels of hierarchy, and when the user selects a group, further commands in that groups are displayed. This allows the user to select a command using a cursor and a simple clicking on it. User can select the command and use the application without first having to know about the computer and its working. The display of this command sequences takes place graphically. The second feature is provision of online help. GUI based application provide help about various features of the application. So if you see any of the applications in Windows operating system, one of the menu in the menu bar is of help. Help can assist the user in knowing everything about the application. In the Windows environment, if user gets confused at any point, a help tool is readily available. This makes GUI based application more popular and efficient. There are many advantages of using graphical user interface over command user interface. Some of the advantages are: with GUI, commands are replaced by graphics. Hence, it is not necessary to remember the commands and its meaning. With GUI, user can run several programs simultaneously. Hence, multitasking becomes easy. User can communicate and exchange data between programs without transferring or copying files. So you can minimize the file and transfer the data to the other file. Also, it is easy to use and consistent and operates virtually on all programs. Components of GUI. There are different tools which helps you to construct a GUI platform. Those tools are components of your graphical user interface. Some of the components are menu bar, scroll bar, title bar, dialog boxes, push button, radio button, check button, list box, and entry box. We'll learn all these components in detail in the further PPT. The first important component of GUI is menu bar. A menu bar consists of different main menus which can be used in program. The main menus consist of different submenus. A menu can be replaced by clicking it. A menu bar is normally present at the top of the window under the window title. Some of the commonly used menu options are File, Edit, Help, View, etc. When one of the menu is selected by clicking, a pull-down menu will appear on the screen, out of which you can select or click on a particular menu item. Example, in pull-down menu of a file, you get options like Open, which is used to open a current document which is present on the window. And second, you can have an option as Save or Save As, which helps you to save the file. You also have option like Print, which helps you to print the current document which is open on your screen. The next component is scroll bar. Scroll bars allow user to scroll window horizontally or vertically. Scroll bars are generally used to look at information which is not currently visible on screen by scrolling window horizontally or vertically. A scroll bar consists of a horizontal or a vertical scroll area with a slider box and are there with an arrow in a box at an end, as you can see in the picture. Slider box gives a hint on size and position of the visible part of an document. The next component is title bar. Title bar appears at the top of the window. Title bar shows the title of each window. As you can see in the picture, we have a title bar of a notepad which is mentioned as Untitled Notepad, wherein Untitled is the name of the document in Notepad and Notepad indicates the type of file. The title helps to identify each window separately. The other component is dialog box. A dialog box is a window used by application to interact with the user. Some of the example of dialog box can be Save As dialog box, Open dialog box, changing of font of is a dialog box. A dialog box can also be used to display information, user input, and also for a combination of these two functions. Dialog box are of two types, modal dialog box and modless dialog box. A dialog box where an application can continue only after the user has responded to the dialog is called modal dialog box. For example, when you save a file, until and unless you click on OK or Save button, you cannot proceed further. So such kind of dialog box is known as modal dialog box. A dialog box which allow user to continue without responding to it is called as modless dialog box. Example can be changing of a font. When you go and select a font and its size and whether you want to keep it regular or not, the reflection is seen on the screen then and there itself. So there the interaction takes place without the confirmation of the user. That's why it is termed as modless dialog box. Push button. It is a rectangular button having a label indicating action to be carried out. Example is given in the picture. You can see two push button. One is labeled as save and the other one is labeled as cancel. This button is used to select an action represented by the label. This button normally used when one action is to be performed among multiple choices. For example, again, among save and cancel, you can select either of one option. The next component is radio button. We can also call it as option button. It consists of a graphical image in terms of a circle which is used to select one object out of several possible objects. That is, there will be multiple choices given to you, and out of those multiple choice you can select only one choice. So only one radio button can be selected among all. The currently selected option can be distinguished from the other by the highlighting of the graphical image. As you can see in the diagram or in the picture, you have multiple options of a platform like Android, PHP, Blogger and HTML. So if I select Blogger, the button turns into a dot. So this is how a radio button can be used. The other option is check button. A check button consists of a square box and an accompanying text. This is used for selecting one or more choices from a list of options. Example is given in front of you. You have many check boxes of different sports in front of you. So if you are interested in more than one sports, you can select multiple check options in that. Whereas in radio button, we have observed that only one selection is possible. So according to the requirement, we can use check button or we can go for radio button. The next component is list box. A list box is a rectangular box with a scroll bars. This allows user to select one item from a scrollable list of choices. Some of the list box also give you an option to go with the multiple choices. Now as you can see, there are different text given in the list. So you can select any one of the font to be applied on the given document. The last component is entry box. You can also call it as text box. It is a rectangular box which allows user to enter some text. An additional hint about the type of text is to be entered is provided near the box. Same as it is given in the diagram below. Your name is a hint which is given, which tells you that the name has to be entered in the text box. Let's move on to the new topic, that is operations on window. Operations on window are what are the tasks which you can carry out on the window. But before we go to the operation, what is actually a window? Different applications are shown on computer screen by icons. User can operate or open one or more application at a time by clicking them. The computer screen is divided into different partitions. Each partition can be of different size. User run different application in each partition of the screen. Each of this partition is known as window. Windows are independent of each other. Following operations can be performed on window: dragging a window, resizing a window, and minimizing and maximizing the window. First, we'll focus on what is dragging a window. The position of the window on screen can be changed by dragging it. To drag a window, select a window by clicking mouse. Keep the left button of the mouse pressed with mouse pointer, that is left pointer, on the title layer of the screen, that is on the title bar. Move the mouse pointer to the new position. It will find that the window is shifted to the new position. The second operation is resizing. Making change in the size of the window is called resizing the window. To do that, move the mouse pointer in right or left side border of window. Observe that the shape of the pointer changes to the left right arrow. Now press the arrow of the icon by the mouse and move the mouse to the right side or the left side where you want a new position to be. Observe the right left border of the window is moved. Similarly, we can move top and bottom border of the window also, that is resizing. The last operation is minimize or maximize the window. We can minimize or maximize or close a window by pressing minimize maximize button, which is actually present at the top in the right corner of the title bar. The last topic of today's class is components of Windows. MS Windows environment provides following program or components which play a very important role in operating system. Those components are Program Manager, File Manager and Control Panel. We'll learn each in detail. What is Program Manager? The Program Manager starts executing along with MS Windows. It provides user interface to start and stop applications. It is used to organize various applications into different groups. It also indicates how each group controlled and displayed on the screen. It is also used to end the MS Windows session. You can see the example of Program Manager at the bottom on the left side of the screen, which is left corner, where you have a Windows icon. When you click on the Windows icon, you will see the different programs which are stored on the computer are represented in a particular folders. So when you click on accessories, you see different options among them, or when you click on MS Office, you get a different option. So programs are organized into different groups. Also along with it, you can see a different options like shut down the computer, restart the computer, or you can log in as a different user in the computer. So these are all part of your Program Manager. Moving on to the next topic, that is File Manager. File Manager helps you to organize user files and directories. This is used to traverse, that is, you can go through the file system and change drives to search, copy, move, create or delete files and directories. Applications can be started directly from the File Manager. So if you see a Windows Explorer, that is when you go into My Computer and the part which you see, the screen which is open to you, the window which is open to you is a File Manager, wherein you have the drives mentioned, and when you go inside a particular drive, you will see a organized user files and directory, wherein C drive is used for the application program which you store, and D and E drive are here for the user programs. The last one is your control panel. It can be used to choose or change the color scheme in the application. You can change the background of the screen. You can change the wallpaper of the screen. You can select border with other border characteristics. You can change the cursor size, or you can change the image of the cursor or the shape of the cursor with the help of control panel. You can also manage fonts of your computer through a control panel. It is used to configure your hardware devices like printers, scanner, and also ports which you attach on the PC can be managed with the help of control panel. Control panel is basically a setting part wherein you can go and add on new features to your operating system in terms of looks as well as with the hardware devices which you connect to it. So again, before signing off for today's class, let's look on the board question asked from GUI topic. What is GUI? State advantages of it. What is GUI? Explain in brief features of GUI. What is GUI? What are the essential components of GUI? Explain them. What is Windows? What are the operations that can be performed on Windows? Explain in brief the following programs of MS Windows, that is Program Manager, File Manager and Control Panel. Thank you for the day. Love and peace from TVM family.